shows. And my son is 2, and he's not quite up on the ingredients yet. So he insisted that we put popcorn in the last meal that we cooked, but popcorn was actually marshmallows, and it was a mess. That meal was disgusting. It was disgusting. I had to eat a sautéed watermelon rind with unshelled peanuts. This is what happens when your 2-year-old decides what goes into the pan. So there you go. Hi, yes, my witch, how are you?
I was just wondering, how come an angel that can travel through time and space is riding on a bus?
How come a grown man is riding on a broom? I mean, we could sit here all day and, you know, volley these questions back and forth. You know, I have to say, an episode recently ended with Castiel, the angel who is able to travel through time and teleport at will, sitting on a bus. And it was a bit incongruous, I thought. I thought, well, this is, I think, just for dramatic effect. I think they wanted to end the show with a dramatic crane shot showing a bus moving across the landscape, and they couldn't figure out how to do that, so they put me on the bus, basically. Sometimes you have to sacrifice story for the visual elements of the show, and that's what happened there. It's something I can guarantee you that in future episodes, the whole bus thing doesn't get paid off at all. It is completely irrelevant.
Write some fan fiction about it, and that'll solve the whole issue.
Yeah, maybe that would be that's not a bad idea. Some slash fiction about Cass and maybe the tailpipe of the bus. Hi.
Hi, welcome to Calgary.
Thank you very much.
I was wondering, how would you compare working on Supernatural to working on another show like 24 or something like that?
There's less teleporting on 24, a lot less. You know, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I enjoy working on Supernatural more. Don't tell any of the 24 people I said that, but I hated working with them. Supernatural is a really fun place to go to work. So even though the production value is pretty lousy on Supernatural and the acting is terrible, it's at least a fun place to go to work. No, it's an unusual place. A lot of times we'll have guest stars come work on the show for, you know, a week, and there's this, I don't know where this ritual evolved in television and film production, but basically when an actor finishes their shoot, when it's the last scene that an actor is working on a show, the first AD announces, and that's a show wrap for guest star X. And everyone applauds and sort of takes a moment to sort of applaud them off the show. And they do that on all TV shows. But on Supernatural, every time that happens, the guest star usually is like, and I just want to say something. This has been an amazing crew, so welcoming, so warm, the best crew I've ever, I mean, it happens over and over again that people say that, and it really is true. It's the best crew I've ever worked with. It's a great place to work. You know, I mean, Jared and Jensen are assholes, and that we have to sort of temper our enthusiasm with that, but the rest of the crew is great, and it's a great place to work. So that's a long-winded answer to your question. Are you from Calgary, sir?
Yes, I am.
So is it true, all of the cowboy stuff and all? I mean, that's a big part of Calgary, right?
Yeah. More than you know.
Really? Are you a cowboy?
No, sir, but I aspire to be one.
You do? Have you, do you ever try to wrangle bulls or anything like that? I mean, when you're aspiring to be a cowboy, don't you have to practice a little bit?
Not barehanded. Not
barehanded. No, just with gloves on. That's all. That's the only way I do it. I put on my little rubber gloves and then I tackle a cow. Okay, great. Good talking to you.
I was going to ask you that question about 24 in your supernatural panel, but apparently we've taken care of that now.
Hey, were Mitch or Mark on 24 too?
Yeah, Mitch was. That's why I was going to be like, compare 24 to supernatural.
Well, none of these people are going to be in that panel too. You can ask the same question.
Okay, all right. You guys just forget what you heard.
If anyone does go to that panel as well, just cover your ears, because it's a good question.
Okay, it'll be fine.
Hello, Mr. Misha Collins. I was wondering what your favorite kind of tropical fish is.
First of all, I want to thank you for using the proper term of address with me. So few people include the Mr., and I appreciate that, partly because when I check into hotels, people usually think that I'm a woman. Like, and who is this Misha? Where is she? And what was the question? Oh, seahorse. Seahorse. It's a fish. I know it looks like a horse, but it's a fish. I've actually been hunting for seahorses in the wild for some time, and they're very difficult to find. I don't know if you know this, because they hide under the leaves of kelp, and they blend in quite nicely. So,
They're very difficult to keep.
oh, they're a nightmare to keep, and you really shouldn't try to keep them, because you'll kill them.
Yeah, they'll die.
I've
Don't
done
do
that before. I've killed them. I had a tank, a saltwater tank. I don't know why I got this, because it's not the kind of thing that I do, but for some reason I got a fish tank. Oh, because my wife wanted a seahorse. And so I got a little saltwater tank that's like this big, and got a seahorse and a couple of other things. The seahorse looked very tired all the time, and then was growing increasingly exhausted over time, and then disappeared. And this was perplexing. The other fish disappeared as well, and
Did you have a big crab in there that you
no,
know
there was no
about?
big crab. It didn't make sense. And then one day I decided to move the fish tank, because it was just in the way. And I have these lockers in my kitchen that are about this high. And so I picked up the tank with the water in it. There was a little tiny lobster in it, like a mini lobster about this big, and there was something else still in there. And I picked it up, and I got it to right here, and I realized that I wasn't strong enough to get it up there. And I was now like holding it, sort of starting to shake, and I realized that I wasn't strong enough to put it back down either. Like, if all I could do was hold it like this. And so I was like, somebody help. And I was trying to like drag a chair over so I could maybe climb up. And eventually my arms failed, and I dropped the whole thing on the floor. But it was a long process before I dropped it on the floor. And this eel, like 10 inches long, swam across the kitchen floor and that had eaten my seahorse. And it was going like this with teeth, and it was really gross. You didn't ask about that, but that's what you got.
It came in on your live rock?
What's that?
It just came in on your live rock when you set up your tank? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
it must have. You know about this kind of parasitic invader thing, don't you?
Yeah. So did you use like a sump or a canister filter for your filtration?
Yes, I was dealing with this. Do you have a saltwater tank?
I do not, but I used to work at an aquarium.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, an aquarium, not an aquarium store, but like
It was an aquarium
science
store,
center?
but it specialized in saltwater stuff.
All of the aquarium stores in my area in Los Angeles are mafia front stores.
Oh.
Yes. There's like 2 fish in there, and some guy behind the desk was like, "What do you want in here?" So yeah, they're money laundering tropical fish operations. Was that what yours was?
No.
It was.
That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Over here, yeah.
Goodbye, miss.
Hey, I was just wondering if they ever let you drive the car, like between takes or something, if you're ever allowed to just grab the wheel and, spend an hour cruising around, picking up chicks.
Do you think that would work?
Uh,
Guy in a trench coat.
With that car, I'd get in.
You'd get in?
I feel like he wants to be alone with the car.
Wow, that's I would say forward of you. I've got a little Dodge rental outside. I don't know if would that do the trick for you? No, it's got to be the Impala. You know, they probably would, but I think it would look a little pathetic. You know, hey guys, I know that I'm not allowed to drive the car on the show, but would it be cool if I just drove it just a little bit just to feel what it's like? Everyone would be like, you loser. I'd have to steal it, but then I'd get caught and that would look lame too. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tricky situation. I would like to drive it. Although, in fairness, the car, we have a handful of Impalas on the show, and most of them barely run. A lot of times, you know, when they show the Impala, like, vroom, actually what's happening is, and then someone pushing it from behind to get it going a little bit, you know. They really don't, they're barely running. And some of the cars look really nice from outside, but all the upholstery is torn up inside. It's a pack of lies.
Right here in the purple, yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, nervous.
No, that's okay.
Eventually.
Just breathe through it. You'll get through this. Probably.
Eventually, Supernatural is going to end, just like all TV shows.
Wow. You're negative.
I just want to know if they come to you with a movie offer for a Supernatural movie, would you do it?
It sort of depends. What would I be doing in the movie? Am I just like doing catering or?
No, as Castiel.
Oh, interesting. Interesting casting. Yeah, although I might be more inclined to take the offer if I were offered the role of Dean. I think, yeah, you know, I wonder if they will do a Supernatural movie. No, they won't. Will they? They will? Will they?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
You seem to know so much about the show ending and everything, so.
I follow Russ Hamilton on Twitter and Tumblr.
Oh, you follow Russ on Tumblr, so you know nothing.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Russ. Where is he now?
Edmonton.
Where is he? He is in Edmonton?
He's in Edmonton.
Oh, you know where he is.
He lives there, yeah.
Well, tell Russ I say hello. Have you met up with him in person?
No, not yet.
Not yet. My God, they've got a date planned. Well, yeah.
Edmonton Expo in September. We'll meet there.
Oh, he's going to be there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I will be.
Well, good luck
Thanks.
extracting information from him. What's your plan? To get him drunk and then have your way with him and then pillow talk? So, Russ, what about this movie? When are we going to do it? Russ is the locations manager. He has no idea about movies or anything like that. But
I know.
still, worth a shot, I would say. Good talking to you.
Right here in the black, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. First, I came all the way from Oregon with 2 friends just to meet you.
What?
Yes, 16 hours in a
Oh
car.
my God, So this must be a crushing disappointment then.
No,
Getting here and being like, this is what I came here for? God, who are your friends?
Right here.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry about this. Were you dragged here? You were? Yes. Absolutely. Literally dragged behind the car.
He was bribed.
What did you guys do in the car? Did you play car games?
No.
What? You drove. Wow. Are they blackmailing you or something? What's going on here? Okay, yes.
My question is, what's the best prank you've pulled on Jared and Jensen on set? Oh, boy.
The whole pranking thing has kind of died off a little bit because everyone is full of fear. The last little volley that Jared and I had, it just looked like it was going to get really ugly really fast. He let I did something. Oh, I blocked his car with my car, and then he let the air out of my tires, and then I called a towing company, and then he got there right as the tow truck got there, unfortunately, so he foiled that, and then he got in his car, and apparently the plan was to just back up across the parking lot and T-bone my car. He was going to hit my car with his car. So It escalates very quickly, and, and everyone knows that, so everyone is now being very careful. I have had both Jared and Jensen escorted off set so that I could finish my side of a scene, and that sort of thing. I don't know. I did enjoy. I dumped something like $1,000 or more than that worth of change in, and it was mostly pennies, nickels, and dimes into Jared's trailer, and that was satisfying until he took it all and dumped it back in my car, and then it was a pain in the ass. Still, when I drive, there's stuff in there. I can hear, like when I brake, suddenly it's shh, little. There's change somewhere above the chassis, underneath the seats, that is sloshing around. Yeah.
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
Hi, what are your plans for the next Gishwas event?
Oh, Gishwas. Has anyone here participated in that? You should, because it's great. It's a scavenger hunt. It's the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen, and it's Gishwas is. I know it doesn't flow trippingly off the tongue, but that's what we're stuck with. We're going to do it in August, and it's going to be even better this year. We had 15,000 participants this past year. Pretty good. Broke another Guinness World Record. Actually broke 2, not to brag, but we did. And it's a lot of fun. So the plans are, that's a very strong word to use, because that would mean that there'd been thinking that went on. But it is going to happen. That's the plan. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Up here yet with the trench coat.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm going to be the one to ask the generic question of what were your favorite and least favorite moments on the set of Supernatural, and if you have any interesting stories you could tell us about them.
There's no interesting stories. It's so boring.
No. Sorry. Next question. I hate questions like that. My son always says, "Hey, Dad, tell me a story." And I'm like, "Well, give me something to work with. A story about what? Something, give me a seed." So what interesting things have happened?
Something funny?
Something fun?
Yeah. I think they want to laugh.
What? The apocalypse. No, but that's not what she's talking about. Misha apocalypse. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. What was that, by the way? Did anyone see this? I have a very weird troll, which is my mother, and she sends me a lot of emails, and I don't always open them all promptly, but I got one that was like, urgent, with extra exclamation points. Misha, what is going on the internet? And I was like, I don't know, what are you talking about, Mom? And then I looked, and it was weird. There was my face everywhere.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. When doing any of the stage combat stuff, stunt stuff, physical stuff, has there ever been any hilarious blooper or accident, nosebleeds, broken limbs?
Oh, you mean like really funny stuff?
Really funny stuff.
We've all been injured in some way or another at some point during stunts. We try to be as careful as possible, but we also try to make it look like we're tough at the same time.
Are you tough?
I'm pretty tough. Like I had not done a lot of fight scenes before doing Supernatural, and the first scene that I had that was like a lot of combat was early on in season 4, and there were a bunch of demons coming toward me, and I just sort of I approached it like I'd done a little bit of stage combat training before, so I knew they're coming at me like this, and I went. And then I got a call from the executive producer saying, "Hey, Misha, how would you like to do a little bit of fight training? Not that you need it, but I needed it." So then I went in to get some fight training with a bunch of real bruisers, and didn't learn anything.
You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's stunt double's doing a stage combat workshop today. Maybe you want to take that
No
in.
way.
Yeah, at 4.
Really?
Yeah.
What's at 4?
4.
You know what? I'm going to cancel my photo ops and my
That's
autographs.
right. That's all right.
I'm going to do it. That sounds fantastic.
I think it's a good idea, right? You guys won't mind, right, if he cancels the photo ops and heads off to a stage combat panel? No?
Yeah, actually, you know, the truth is I really hadn't done stage combat before. I just remembered that I spent a summer studying at RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, yes. And I had a choice. I could either do stage combat or period dance. And I did period dance. So maybe that's where I went wrong, because we haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to you know, utilize Elizabethan dance in Supernatural. But I know that that's coming. It'll happen. And then I'll shine.
So next year we need to have a workshop Elizabethan dancing with Misha Collins.
Yeah,
That's what
not a
we need
bad
to do.
idea.
Okay.
Not a bad idea.
All right, in the blue right there.
What restaurant are you planning to go to in Calgary?
McDonald's. All of them.
Do you have recommendations for me?
No.
No.
I'm not too familiar with restaurants here. So.
You're not familiar with restaurants?
Peters.
What are they saying?
Peters.
Peters.
Peters Drive-In.
Peters what?
Peters Drive-In.
Drive-in.
It's a hamburger and milkshake place, and definitely a staple of Calgary. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat dairy, so I can't recommend it to you. But apparently, people love it.
Okay. Great. Maybe I'll grab the Impala, pick up that guy, and head over there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were trying to find out where I'm having dinner. Just call me. We'll work it out. Hi.
Okay. Have you read any Castiel fan fiction?
And if so, do you recommend any?
What? What did she say? I don't know what that woman is saying, but I know it's important.
Project.
Michelle.
Michelle? Nope, she lost her voice.
Twist and shout.
Twist and shout. Okay. I don't know what it is that is being referenced right now.
It's a story.
It's a story. Okay.
It's fan fiction. It's slash. Actually, just avoid it entirely. Forget I mentioned it.
Okay. Interesting. Just a tip, if you're trying to keep something secret, probably don't shout it out. I've not read a great deal, so I can't recommend. Twist and Shout I would recommend, right? Is that the name of it? But other than that, I can't really recommend any. I'm not a big reader. That's not true. No, I remember when I first got on the show, I was Googling around and I saw something, and it was like, oh, this is a story. Oh my God, this is very amazing. There's a story about Cass and Dean, and then I was so naive and innocent and so pure still at that point, and I started reading it, and it was you know, I don't remember the details except for all of a sudden it was like, and then Cass, you know, puts his erect, you know, and and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that happened. What script was that in? I totally missed that. So yes, I'm not terribly well versed, but there might be some. I think that young lady right there in the second row behind the farters might know something, or you can consult with her. Yes, hello.
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
I was wondering if you have any embarrassing childhood stories you could tell us.
Embarrassing childhood stories? No. Of course not. That's a great question. I used to be afraid, in first grade, I was afraid to go to the bathroom at school. So I don't know why. It was just this weird thing. I just felt like it was not private enough. Which ironically would result in me shitting in my pants on the bus ride home pretty much every day because I just couldn't hold it any longer. There's that.
I thought that happened to everybody.
That happened to everybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That's normal.
everybody has that story, right?
That's normal. You're fine.
What else can I tell you about my childhood that's super embarrassing? I don't know. I discovered that Santa Claus wasn't real a little late. It was kind of...
It was at the Edmonton show last year.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Santa Claus is real, obviously. I just realized that might have ruined someone's life. Our sound guy, how many young children are in the audience? Hi. I love Santa Claus. I'm not going to be the one to tell this story then, because I don't want to be that guy who does that to a child, because I know it was very painful for me when I was 15. Yeah.
So we've got time for one more question right up here. Yeah.
I do not want to be the last question.
Okay.
I want to say thank you for moving Gishfest to August, because last year it was in October and it nearly killed me.
Is October a hard time of year for you?
Midterms.
Are you getting ready to hibernate at that point?
Midterms.
Midterms. Oh. I'm sure that it helped you, though.
Yeah.
To be
Well, actually,
staying
I did
up
a little.
all night.
I go to art school.
What's
but
that?
Not the point.
You go to art school?
Yeah, so it actually.
Oh, so you were essentially cheating. You were having your teammates do your midterms for you, weren't you?
Oh yeah, that's totally what I meant.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was wondering if you ever had the most insane idea for Gishfest that you actually couldn't get people to do because it was too ridiculous. And I know that's asking a lot because I've seen the lists. But
There have been a lot of things that were nixed off the list. One criteria one is if it really is too dangerous, that keeps on coming up. I keep on coming up with ideas, and people are like, yeah, you know, somebody in the group will die doing that. And I say, well, yeah, I know, but it'll be really cool and kind of worth it. For those of you who don't know, it's a scavenger hunt, and people have to do some fairly, there was skydiving last year, which a lot of people did. I wanted to do something with space travel, but it seemed like it would be a little bit out of reach for a lot of people, so that got nixed. Although maybe we should put it on anyway this year. I feel like if somebody gets hurt leaving the atmosphere, it was probably worth it, right? But yeah, it's mostly, no, that's not just that. It's dangerous, it's too offensive. That's another criteria that things get knocked off the list for. Or, yeah, that sort of falls into too offensive too. So those are the main reasons. Or just utterly, stupidly impossible. Yeah, space travel. I think we're gonna put it on this year. So suit up. It'll be worth a lot of points if you can leave the stratosphere somehow.
That's about all we've got time for, guys.
What?
Another round of applause, please, for Misha Collins.
It was a great pleasure talking to you all. Thank you for coming and coming down to the rodeo here. See you around. Come say hi.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Bye.